Okay, welcome to my guide. Today we're going to discuss what to think about or not think about to ensure you're actually meditating. And I'm sharing this, it's a sort of checklist of sorts. It's what I actually use. So these are my go-to reminders that guide me back to meditation or guide me towards real, actual meditation. And let's just get this out. Real meditation is not so easy to define, but I thought these little tips, they just may help. So when I'm meditating, I fall back on these concepts. The first one, are there any questions being asked in my meditation? So, for example, is this actually meditation that I'm doing? Am I doing it right? Should I sit up straighter? Are my hands in the right position? What time is it? Is it time to finish? Should I be feeling something special? All of these questions are my mind process, which is what I am observing when I meditate. To be clear, questions are not a problem as long as I notice them as the mind process. I'm not getting lost believing they need answers. At the end of the day, questions don't need answers when I'm meditating. Answers will just create more questions. This idea that we need answers to problems that have arisen from questions, that's how the mind process stays alive. The mind process starts and stops and twists and turns all the time. It's an abstract web of action. It's not a thing. It's something that happens, and it can only happen, it can only exist while we continue to think about it. So thinking is the problem. So I never try to stop the questions. I don't make the questions into more of a problem that needs a solution. Instead, when I notice questions, I remind myself that was just my mind. That was just my mind process happening. And oftentimes, that simple realization of just noticing it was a question, that brings me back to my immediate reality, which is free of any question or problem. I'm just here meditating. The next concept to watch for is effort. Am I trying? I am very often reminding myself that if meditation is something that I'm doing, it's not really meditation, right? Meditation is observing thought, which includes the idea of effort. So if I sit and I try to maintain my attention on just my breath or try to focus on any singular thing, I'm practicing more of a mind focus, a mind control. And at least for me, mind control or mind focus is not meditation. Meditation is what happens when I associate with the part of me that is beyond my mind. It's a state of no mind. It's a place, if you will, from which I can observe my mind process. And the observer doesn't restrict or control what's being observed. It just observes. If I am practicing mind control or focus, that's training that develops just a laser-focused mind. And I have found that is great for working and productivity. It can keep me from being distracted. But at least to this point in my meditation practice, no amount of control has ever freed me from my mind. From my experience, no matter what I do, I have not been able to sort of become the master of my mind. So after years of trying, I've decided to just observe it instead. And taking that golden rule from the Bible, do unto others. I didn't like it when my mind controlled my life. So I've got to let go of this intention to control it. Taking the position of the observer, that's enough. Okay, moving on. I watch for thoughts like, does meditation work? Or, I wonder if I'm getting better at this. Or, I wonder if I'm getting better through this. Am I becoming a better person? Now, this is a question, so I'm reminded of that first point, watch for questions. But this question has this extra little kick of demonstrating desire. And that word, desire, that's a special word, at least it is for me. Desire and enoughness, that's really what the mind process is all about. My desires, my inability to ever obtain enough, that is what creates the suffering in my life. So when that idea shows up during my meditation, that's then something I really pay attention to. If I let desire creep into my meditation, it quickly spirals into this full story of self-assessment. How good am I? How bad am I? And from there, I begin this full-on assessment of my life and past actions and future possibilities. And I just get completely lost into this mind process that is looking for control. It's looking for control to try to make sense of a life that it has no control over, but it doesn't care. So I guess my realization is that my future is completely unknown. My past is done and out of the way, and here I am. And my ability to actually be here now, watching my mind process, that ability is meditation working, and that's enough. So it's not so much, is it working, but am I doing it? And I hope that makes sense. Okay, if that wasn't confusing, this next one is tricky. Does meditation feel good? The short answer here is no. Meditation doesn't feel good or bad. Meditation is the state of awareness where you observe the mind process measuring feeling good or bad. So meditation helps you understand your mind process. And that's the root of all suffering. And through that understanding, in a way, you become in control of whether you suffer or not. But that's not good. It's just not bad. I guess we sort of fall back on this Buddhist concept here, the cessation of suffering. You're not gaining enlightenment, you're uncovering it. So you gain nothing here. You gain nothing through meditation. You only let go of the measuring mind that always wants more. So if I become aware of an enjoyable feeling created by meditation or any other experience, I know I'm no longer meditating. I'm measuring. And that's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. I'm not striving to be free from my measuring mind. I'm only concerned with observing it. I like how enjoyment feels. I think most of us do. I see no issue with enjoying life and using my measuring mind for the good parts. But I know the good requires bad as a reference point. So I'm left with this very practical reality that the absolute best moments, the incredible feelings and the experiences that come through meditation, they aren't really real. They're just measured memories. My mind process is slipping back in, and it's okay. I just watch that happen as well. Meditation, real meditation, dissolves the mind that measures good and bad. It shifts you to the observer that does not judge. It takes no sides. It has no preference. So concepts involving good and bad, they just show us that the mind has preference. It's sort of just a little flag that shows, hey, the mind, it's here. And then we only need to take note. We just notice. Meditation is observing the preference while understanding its source. And that's enough. Okay, before I get way too far out here, we'll do one last concept that I watch for. And this one, I guess, is a little, this one's out there as well. Do I care if I'm meditating? I think if meditation means something to the meditator, it's not meditation. So if meditation is important to you, is necessary for you, or meaningful in any way, you may want to watch that your mind process is not sneaking in on you, just sort of unnoticed. Meditation is not something we should do. It's just a way to live. It's not done for 10 minutes each morning or at the end of a yoga class. It can be done during 10 minutes during the morning or a yoga class, of course, but it's not an activity. It's just a state of being where the mind process is paused and the observer is present. It doesn't need to last for any more than just a moment. It's enough to just wobble the mind process, just that tiny bit, so you can glimpse the mind process itself from the position of the observer. And the more the mind process is wobbled, the less it has full control over your life, the less you believe your mind process is everything. And those cracks, they begin to open up, and we start to see what's actually happening. Oh yeah, there it is again. That was my mind. And that's it. That's enough. That's all meditation is. Just glimpses into the mind process from the position of the observer. Anything and everything with meaning originates from our mind process. And it's a very scary thing for the mind to lose control. From my experience, my mind process will do absolutely anything it can to maintain its relevance, including making all this spirituality and meditation stuff a thing that the mind is doing. But it's not. Spirituality and meditation are the opposite of mind. They're the opposite of meaning. Well, it's tricky because we'll never be able to think or logic our way to that realization. We can't get there through the mind. The best thing we can do is to watch the mind as it attempts to defend itself by creating meaning. And that's it. I mean, those are just some of my current go-to concepts, I guess, that I use to wobble my mind and bring myself back to the here and now. But please, let me know what you think. If you have any effective methods that you use to observe the mind process, please share. I'd like to hear them. I'm sure other people would like to hear them as well. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time.